Today, we're talking about this weird trend that I started to notice, and it is going into crazy amount of debt to buy physical media and build their collections. And I'm not here to judge anybody, but I've heard every story from I just wanted to start a YouTube channel. I didn't know what Blu-rays were until I started getting into it. I didn't know what I was doing. I just needed to fill my shelves. I've heard quite a few of those stories, and I've actually seen it. A few YouTubers who had nothing and in a very short amount of time have stacked shelves, and then now they're on like some kind of halt where they're not buying anything, and they're cutting up their credit cards. There's all kinds of stories out there. And what I want to do is I want to bring my knowledge to you. And it's something that in the 25 years of doing this and collecting physical media, I've learned a few tips and tricks. And this is the major one that I wish I knew way back when, and it is buying used physical media. And I want to point out, this is about the amount of movies that I buy every single month brand new. And so this right here, this pile, is roughly about what I buy, and it's based on value, not actually a number. So I spend roughly about the same amount every single month. And this is not really a humble brag, but I think I have to share some things just to drive the point home. And so this month alone, I spent $600 on brand new physical media. Last month, it was $505. The month before was $535. The month before was $552. So there is a consistent number. Now, this month was a little bit higher because there's this giant Frank Capra box set where that was a little bit more pricey. So I spend roughly about the same amount every single month because I stay within my budget, give or take a little bit. But if I go over my budget, the next month I generally am able to spend a little bit more. Now, the reason I point that out is because this entire pile right here, if I purchase this on Amazon right now, this entire pile cost $439. I paid $80. And I do that every single month. I take out $80 out of my bank account twice a month. I split it up, $40 every pay period. We're in the military, you get paid twice a month. But I take out the $40. It's roughly $20 a week, minus a few weeks, but on average about $20 a week. And I know that because on a weekly basis, I spend about $20 on movies. And this is what I've purchased. So this entire pile was $80. And the value is $80. And I know that because these are the ones that I actually still left all the price tags on just to show this. So the Revenant 4K, I had just added it to my Amazon wish list, and that's another way that I save a ton of money, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But the Revenant was something that I had missed it. I didn't have it in the collection. People kept saying it was a great reference disc. You need to have it. So I put it in my Amazon wish list. And then the same day, I ended up stopping at the thrift store on the way to the grocery store, and this was $2. I made a post on my community page about it, $2 for a 4K. And I do that regularly. So this 4K here, $2. This 4K here was also $2. This Mulan 4K was $2. Yep, $2. And right now it's on Amazon for $30. So that's a huge savings right there. And Angel Has Fallen, also on 4K, all $2. Now these Blu-rays here, these ones here are movies I really enjoyed. I've seen all of them. But the reality is none of these were day one purchases for me. So there's stuff that I had on the back burner, you kind of forget about, life gets in the way, new stuff comes out. So these are all movies that I would have loved to add to the collection. But as you start adding them up, it adds up fast. $439 is a big pill to swallow for movies that aren't day one purchases. And so Black Mass is something I saw in theaters. I really enjoyed it. So that seeing it in the theater and then the double dip on the Blu-ray, it was never a day one purchase, but it was something I always wanted to add. For $2, that's a great pickup. This one right here, Legion, another great pickup, $2. I saw it only once. I didn't hate it, so adding it for $2 was a great pickup because if I don't like it, and I treat it like a rental, you can return it to the thrift store and then they just resell it, you're good to go. And $2 is cheaper than a $5 or $6 movie rental. Satanic Panic is the same thing. I saw it once, I thought it was okay. $2, that's a great addition, especially for a movie to add in during spooky season. Here's something I saw on deployment, Moonwalkers. Thought this was a fine film, really enjoyed it, loved the whole conspiracy angle of this. For $2, that was a great purchase, but I didn't have it because after I got off deployment, I never saw this in stores, or it would have been a day one pickup. Pineapple Express. I've never really been into the whole pothead stoner movies. This was fine. I laughed. I thought it was funny. For $2, it was a great addition. I don't own any other like movies like this in my collection. I might have one Cheech and Chong VHS tape, but that's a whole different thing because I collect VHS tapes. Quiet Ones was a nice add. This is something I had wanted to add to my collection because somebody else was talking about it during spooky season. It came up on a recommendation. I added it to my wish list, and then I ended up finding it at the thrift store. So I took it off my wish list, and then for $2, you can't go wrong. This is something, this was actually a blind buy. It's one of the few I've never seen, but it's a Mel Gibson movie. And for $2, that's a huge win. Few kids movies here. This is a kids movie here for $2. I remember enjoying it. The kids liked it, but it was never a day one because it was like part of a book series, and then they never made any more of these movies. So it kind of left on a little bit of a cliffhanger. So that's why we never added that one. But this one right here, I had this on 4K, but then there was like something happened. Like my 4K, there was like a bubble in it or something, and so like it worked I think the first couple times I watched it, and then it just never worked again. And that bubble, like it just, you could notice it. So I got rid of the 4K, and then I was going to rebuy it, but then seeing this for $2, I had to grab it because it's a newer movie shot digitally. I'm pretty sure it's shot digitally. It looks beautiful. I think the Blu-ray is just okay, and you know, it's a great movie. I really did enjoy it, but I didn't need to spend all that extra money on rebuying the 4K for $2. That was a great addition. Let's see. This movie right here, Under Siege. Love this movie. Had it on DVD. Also in this pile is Under Siege 2. Had that on DVD. I didn't know any of the Steven Seagal films even made it to Blu-ray. I just always assumed they were stuck on DVD because the ones I checked didn't have a Blu-ray. So when I saw these were no-brainers. Legend, same thing. I liked this movie a lot, but for $2, had to have it at the $20 or $25 price range. It really was never a day one, and I just recently added it this year. Humanity Bureau is the exact same way. Hancock is the same way. I liked it enough. I thought it was like a one and done. Fine for a rental. For $2, having it in the collection is great because we're going to watch it more often now. But I only ever saw this when it first came out and never really rushed out to buy it. $2 is a great price. This is something that my girls wanted to watch. I didn't care about. I could not spend the full price on it. I know it's probably pretty cheap now, but $2. The Duff was just a nice addition. This is something that I loved the movie when it first came out, and I'm pretty sure this came out way back when DVD was thing, but I never saw this in the stores, and it's Yes Man. I absolutely love that cover and the fact that there's no big ugly banner there. Really enjoy the aesthetic of the look, but for $2, this was a great pickup. There's Under Siege 2. We got that one. Nightcrawler. So the thing is, and why I'm showing all these off is because there's probably something for you. While not every movie is made for everybody, there is a movie for you, and one of these might be it. And it's just showing you the example of what you can get out there just by checking out those thrift stores. And 21 and Over, that's a fun comedy. But the thing is where I think a lot of people get it wrong, especially YouTubers, where they'll try to fill up that shelf with just whatever, you know, for you can go in with $100, and if you got a good thrift store, they're selling them for $1 a piece. You can throw 100 DVDs on your shelf and call it a day. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, don't be disingenuous. Be able to pull a movie off that shelf and be able to talk about it. So 300, Rise of the Empire. This is one that I saw back in the day. Love the first one. That one's always been in my collection, but this one I've only ever saw once. I didn't think I needed it. For $2, it was just a nice thing to be able to revisit it. But, you know, again, if I don't love it, I can just give it back and just treat it like a rental. Now, here's the benefit. Like, this is something here. It was a DVD I picked up, Whip It. It was in my Amazon wish list for the longest time, but I never picked it up because it was a blind buy. I'm not really sure about it. But then I saw this. I liked the green case that it came in, just the aesthetics that they used to do for these movies. For $2, wanted to give that a try. Still haven't watched it. But this one right here, brand new, never opened. $7 for a TV show. $7 for another TV show. So you can get brand new stuff. And now I don't always buy TV shows. These are actually, you know, been bought over the year. Probably randomly once a month I find one. But you can grab these TV shows brand new. I find used ones all the time, but brand new, you can get a nice one. I paid $7 for these. I'm not paying any more than $7. Sopranos, brand new, never opened, $7. You really can't go wrong. And then this DVD here, I don't think we ever got a Blu-ray, and it's cash back. This is just a great movie. I remember renting this back in the day, but honestly, I didn't remember that I did. So I thought this was going to be a blind buy. Everyone was saying how good it was, and the reason I don't think we ever got a Blu-ray is because I was trying to get the Japanese Amazon import of the Blu-ray of this. But after you pay the higher price for the Blu-ray, the shipping, the tax, the whole nine, for $2, this was just a great pickup. Really enjoyed it. I still might get that eventually, but now that I know what this is and that I actually like it, it might be easier for me to pull the trigger on that. But now here's one of the benefits. You can get these brand new ones. I found this brand new, this stuff brand new, and sometimes you pay a little bit more for the brand new stuff, and so you just kind of adjust your budget there. But this was $4 because it was sealed. I won't pay any more than $4. $4 is still cheaper buying it sealed used at the thrift store than buying it new on Amazon. This one here, now these ones here, these aren't part of the $80 collection. These are just other purchases that I've had from the thrift store. This one I bought like a year ago. Still haven't had a chance to watch it. And then as I went to go try to watch it again, Radiance Films had released like a limited edition version that I might try to get. So, but this was a Criterion for $10 sealed at the thrift store. You never know what you're going to get. It is kind of a luck of the draw, but the whole idea is collecting isn't a race, it's a marathon. And you know, the whole entire joy of collecting and appreciating what you have and seeing your collection grow, that joy is so much better than having an instant collection. Now, the other way I've been able to do this is figure out what my day one purchases are and what is not. How I've been able to manage that over the years is clearly these are not day one purchases. They never were. That's why I found them used at the thrift store. But certain movies, and I don't think I have the other one up here, but this is Poltergeist. I know I didn't buy this one day one, but Poltergeist 2 was a day one purchase as soon as I found out. Death to Smoochie was a day one purchase. There are movies that I had to have day one, but this one right here, this pile, is stuff that I just recently picked up last month, and these were all in my Amazon wish list, and I was just waiting for a sale. And every month I set aside some money for those items, and when the sales come up, I pull the trigger and I just add them to the collection. Almost every single one of them here is an upgrade as well. That's also how I move stuff into my Amazon wish list, is I might already have it, and I'm just waiting for a good price on this on the item, so I'm not spending a ton of money on a double dip. This was the only one that wasn't. I didn't have it in the collection at all, so this was just a first time purchase for me. But at the same time, I saw it already. It was never a day one, and I waited for this to be on sale. Evolution, love the movie, great upgrade, love the Blu-ray, and having this again, picking it up. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't full price. Same thing for this Eraser. Had it for years, and I had the DVD, and I didn't even realize that this had a Blu-ray until last year. But even then, I didn't pull the trigger. I think this ended up being like $11. Finally pulled the trigger on that. So this is just the other way that I'm able to save a ton of money. Slither, again, I had this on DVD. That was a great upgrade. But then this one here, a great movie. I absolutely love it. And so many people rushed out to grab this one day one. And, while I'm in that boat for so many movies, I don't remember exactly what happened, but at the time when this got released, I must have got everything else or went over my budget or something, because this got moved into my Amazon wish list. Finally was on sale, had to grab it. Same thing for Ex Machina. Absolutely love this one. Now this one here, I pulled the trigger because I missed watching it, and I liked the movie. I liked it when it first came out, but I didn't have it in the collection. So this was sitting in the Amazon wish list for a long time. But there is like this really expensive out of print, like deluxe premium box set out of Korea that I want to get of this, but it's so pricey that it's turning into like a holy grail. And having to grab this for real cheap was a no-brainer. So that's pretty much how I've been able to do this for a long period of time. And then, adding up, what I actually spent was about $439 if I got this through Amazon, everything brand new. You can average it out, and just going based off of everything that I purchase brand new regularly shows that absolute consistency and what this stuff is usually right around, give or take. So you're looking at about $5,000 a month, and then subtract the $960, you're looking at about $4,000 there, and then all the difference of how I save money throughout the sales every single year. That is where I've been saving all of my money, but still adding a ton of movies into my collection. Let me know in the comments down below if you are in that crazy boat of overspending or going out of a budget, or after this, you're going to start picking up more used media. You're going to want to check out this video right here for more collecting tips. And with that, remember to watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.